I'm going to give you a review of Inglourious Basterds, Quentin Tarantino's newest film. It's been a couple years since his last film, and we are due. If you're a fan of his, if you're not a fan of his, if you're a Brad Pitt fan, if you're a fan of World War II films, if you're a fan of war films, whatever, you will like this film, plain and simple. So there's a couple stories going on in the film as usual with the Tarantino style. The main story, which covers the Inglourious Basterds group. Brad Pitt is in charge of these American soldiers who infiltrate German-occupied France, and they go out and kill as many Germans as they can, whatever means they can, which includes scalping them at the end, which is pretty cool. Even if you are Nazi, I'm sure you would enjoy watching them getting, well, maybe probably wouldn't enjoy it, but anyhow, so that's one part of the story. The other, I would say, the more interesting part of the story would be Christoph Waltz's performance. He's basically put in charge of finding all of the hidden Jews throughout France. People are hiding them in their basements, in their attics, and so forth. And he's also basically in charge of any big security issues that come up throughout the film. And I mean, he does an amazing job. If he doesn't win for Best Supporting Actor, well, then he won't win, obviously, but he should. He has no recourse. So if he doesn't, he might sleep poorly that night, but I'm sure he's still got a pretty nice payday. I probably could look it up. You could probably look it up. We could look it up together. But anyhow, so the film is about 2.5 hours. It's very heavy on dialogue, but at no point did I feel bored. At no point will you feel bored. You will be captivated. You will feel a good amount of intensity. There will also be a lot of confusion. The confusion comes up with the Tarantino-esque portions of our film, which include name dropping of 600 different German directors from the 1940s that you hopefully don't know, and if you do, there's no reason you should be watching me telling you about the film. So, there you go. It was a really strong opening, really strong, which kind of set the mood of a good amount of intensity, and you really get to feel Waltz's character. He sucks you in. He makes you feel like a friend. He gains a rapport with you, but then he fucks with you. He fucks with your head. Really good salesman. Really good salesman. Somebody asked me to keep in mind how I would feel as a Jewish person watching the film. I happen to be Jewish, but at no point did I feel offended. Maybe if I was super Orthodox, maybe, but I probably wouldn't be seeing the film in the first place. But not really. And at the same point, I don't think if I was a German, I probably would not feel offended either. I think it told a very fair, balanced story. There was an interesting point at the end of the film when we're seeing a premiere of a German film, and the whole film is geared around this sniper who kills a bunch of Allied forces. So we as an American audience are going to be watching the Germans watching a German film about Germans killing Allied soldiers, and we will feel angry or resentful or any number of things. But then when we get to watch the Germans being killed, then we feel like, oh yeah, this is pride. This is the way it's supposed to be. Go team, go. But it's interesting, play on perspective. It depends on what perspective you have when you're watching it, and it will definitely, mess with your brain a little bit, which I liked. And one of the things that I didn't really like, but I understand there are some time limitations, was the depiction of the Inglourious Basterds group. It's a group of soldiers who each have their own little stories. We learn some of the stories. We learn a little bit about Eli Roth's character story, which I think he did kind of an okay job. He could have done better. He could have done better. He could have been anybody. But it is what it is. And we didn't really get to find out about all of the characters, which, like I said, I understand we have some time limitations, but if you're going to call the movie Inglourious Basterds, I want to learn about each of the bastards. That might just be me, but, like you call the movie Watchmen, I want to know about each of the Watchmen, that kind of thing. Maybe I'm being nitpicky, but, that's kind of what I felt. Yeah, overall, it was a good film. At no point did I feel like there was something missing. I wouldn't say it was Tarantino's best. I also wouldn't say it was his worst. I'm definitely going to see it again, and I expect if you are either a fan of his, or a fan of just in general good drama or good war films, you will probably want to see it again as well. So I highly recommend it, as everybody else has, I'm sure, by now. Hopefully you like it, and hopefully it'll be worth your money, and hopefully you see it again. And if you picked up anything I didn't, feel free to leave a comment below. And hopefully I get to do this again sometime soon. I'm sure I'll be drinking again soon. So hopefully I just go see another movie and I can tell you about it when I'm drinking again. And that's it.